The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Studio 6 Entertainment, Armed Media, or the Entertainment Partners LLC. Enjoy the show.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
These aren't the droids we're looking for.
Straight Talk with Matt Hasley. Every Monday and Friday, 9 p.m. Central Time. Only on Armed Radio Global.
She shines just like a star, and I swear I know her face. I just don't know who.
It is Monday night, and it is time for some Straight Talk. This is your host, Matt Hasley. We're coming to you across so many platforms we can't mention it, but I do want to say, if you'd like to interact with the show, you can call 1-866-225-5401, or you can reach us on Facebook at Armed Radio 1, or you can also reach us on Twitter at Armed Radio 1, or if you want to send a tweet, hashtag it Armed Radio. I'll see it pop up there. A lot of things to talk about. But we have a lot of stuff going on around just around sporting news and stuff like that. But I want to do a special thanks to all of our sponsors out there. You got BuyLimitlessEnergy.com. They're more than just an energy drink. They offer that combination of natural ingredients that work synergistically to deliver that energy, focus, and hydration you need to enhance your performance. GlassstickWaterbottle.com, they're BPA-free, toxin-free, metal-free, 100% shatterproof, double-walled, insulated, and, of course, sweat-proof. Also, Ritzy Reruns, they offer hot and trendy clothing at bargain prices. So if you're looking for something for you or for your kids, remember Ritzy Reruns or We Runs, where fashion isn't full price. Also, coming up next Saturday, not even a week away, this coming Saturday, May 3rd, they have their 42nd annual U.S. Metropolitan Taekwondo Championship. 42nd annual. So if you think you got what it takes, they have competitions in board breaking, point sparring, and forms. Also, for Savvy Souls, you get on there at 50 to 70% off. Plus, mention Armed Radio and get an extra 10% off. It's like they're just giving them away. And Vox Mobile. Get a local phone number even when you're not local. So if you're living overseas and you want to have that local phone number, not get all the expenses, think of Vox Mobile. Well, right off the bat, I did want to mention that, probably the hottest topic or hottest thing going on right now has got to be the Clippers owner right now. I could start with any other topic or whatever, but it wouldn't do any justice because Donald Sterling, audio came out of LA Clippers owner Donald Sterling. He was apparently defending and asking his girlfriend to accommodate his racial prejudice, which, if you haven't heard about it, well, then you live in a cave. But it's been all over the news. Apparently TMZ and one other, media outlet broke they played the recordings. And, you can go online and listen to them just about anywhere now. It was almost a 10-minute audio track of him just talking. And, I listened to it, and I had to think to myself, I said, how does a guy, that's supposedly this business savvy, that's, worth, about $1 billion or whatever he's worth, how does a guy like that individual get to where he is and in the place he's at? I'm talking about is to be in the NBA and have that mentality. I mean, how do you get to there? I'm kind of lost. I don't know. he is. I mean, he's. I'm so lost. We talked about this at work. I'm a golf professional, and I talked about it at the golf course with one of the guys who works with me, and we both were just sitting there looking at each other like, what does he feel? He feels like he owns these people, and I mean, I lost the concept of, or don't know, maybe, I can't. It doesn't make sense to me. It's just one of those that it boggles the mind to think that he is that mentality of a phrase it correctly. If he's that prejudice. Prejudice goes along with everybody. I mean, you can be prejudiced to things. It's stupid. It just doesn't make any sense. At this day and age, that he's at that. I don't know. I'm lost with that. I don't know how to bring it into words that it's going to make any sense to rationalize what he's talking about. I mean, he just sounds like an idiot. But it sounds to me like she knew it. She knew that he was this way. How can you be with this guy? I mean, and I don't think it was for the looks. I'm sure it had to be for the money. Because I just don't understand how you can stay with a guy like this. I mean, he even told her, if you're not the girl that, that is like what I want, then I'll find somebody else. I mean, he just flat told her. Well, I remember when this happened with Marv Schott in the Reds, and they did exactly what they should have done. And this goes both ways. I mean, if it was the same way with, I don't care what color the owner is, it has to be the same way. You have to do you can't be like this. This is, come on, this is 2014. We have to get past that. It just amazes me that people are still out there like this. I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever get to where we're beyond race. I don't know if it'll ever get that way. I wish that we could. I hope we can someday. Hope we get where we can get beyond race and beyond, sex, where it's not any difference of what sex. But, it probably won't get to that. No, it'll be a long time coming. I just know I never grew up with it. I never grew up with, being taught to hate somebody for their race. I gotta give credit to my mom and dad. They raised me correctly. I just never felt that way. So, it's, no, I just, hopefully that the NBA isn't tarnished, or the Clippers aren't tarnished by this. But yeah, I think he needs to go. If you get a guy with that mentality, he needs to be out. They need to get a new owner. They need to do something. You can't have somebody in that league like that. And I'm sure there's other people that are that way too. On both sides of the spectrum. I'm sure that they are, and people will know it. It'll come out if they are. But I don't think you can honestly be in that. I don't understand how you can be being in the NBA, which is predominantly black, and be prejudiced. I don't. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm like, wow. Just by listening to the audio, it sounds like he thinks he, had that slave mentality where like he was their owner. And I'm like, man, that just really really bakes my noodle to think a guy would be like that. Yeah, it's a shame, you know. And the LA Clippers, their playoff game, they turned their shirts inside out in apparent protest over Donald Sterling. I understand the protest. You know, I would like to, you know, see them be able to just get rid of him, move him out. I don't know how they can do it. Maybe you know, the league commissioner Silvers is going to be able to do something, but the owners ought to be able to. I mean, there should be a clause in there. If it comes out that you're this type of owner, there should be a clause that they can buy you out, because it's just ridiculous to have an owner like this. Apparently, CarMax, Virginia America, and State Farm have already distanced themselves from the Clippers in response to owners Donald Sterling racist remarks. Used car chain CarMax confirmed Monday it'll be cutting all ties with the team after a 9-year partnership. CarMax finds the statements attributed to the Clippers owner completely unacceptable. You know, I would like to see these, like all of these, you know, like CarMax, Virginia America, State Farm. I would like to have them come out and say, we will not be part of this until you get rid of him, and then come back. And then say, once he's gone, then they'll come back. Because I hate to see him just cut ties with the, you know, organization completely. But come out and say that we do not support him, but we support the team. And see if that would, you know, I think that would be a better way to go about it, rather than to sit there and just say, we're cutting ties completely. You know, it's a shame that this has to be this way. You know, that people are this way, but you know, he'll get what's coming to him. You know, he you know, for being a business savvy person as he is, he's not a very bright individual. So, but apparently scores in the NBA tonight. And we'll come back to talk that. If you'd like to, you know, mention more about that or say something about it, you can hashtag it, Armed Radio. Well, I already got one on here. He said he was set up by his gold-digging girlfriend. She baited him. Well, I don't know if she baited him, but, you know, the argument with that was, I mean, you listen to the audio, and she never argued back with him at all. And he says, you can hear him constantly saying, you argue with me about everything. And she goes, yes, Donald, yes. It sounded like she was trying to do something to him. Well, you know, I mean, I still don't think, I don't care if she baited him or not. You can't have an owner like this. You can't have an owner that thinks that he owns his players like this. You know, I understand, you know, when you get players that want part of the, you know, profit sharing or whatever they call it, you know, for the league. But they don't have the expenses that the owners have. But this is different. This is a guy who thinks he owns the players, and he thinks that they're only there, the people are only coming because of him. No, they're not. They're coming because of who you brought in to play. I mean, if you had, it's like, classic example, Michael Jordan retired. A year or so after Michael Jordan retired, the arena were sold out. But the reason why is because they were sold out up like 2 years after Michael Jordan left for the Bulls. But the stadium wasn't full. People bought season tickets, and they bought them for I don't know how many years. Well, that kind of dwindled back. Well, now they're back getting full again. But right after they did, it's not like the general manager for the Bulls was saying, well, they're here because of me. No, they were here because of Jordan. It's like they're here because of the good players for the Clippers. I mean, the Clippers have become an awesome team to watch. I would hope that this doesn't distract them in the playoffs, which it already has. But right now, Miami Heat and Bobcats. Heat beat the Bobcats 109-98. And that it was Game 4 Heat swept them for the Eastern Conference first round. And the Spurs are currently in the first quarter, 23-18. Spurs are down by 5 against the Mavericks. And I'll keep you updated on that game as it goes on. But it's end of the first quarter. And currently the Mavericks lead that series 2-1. And if you didn't get to see that game over the weekend, you missed a great one. The Spurs did everything they could to defend that game. And Vince Carter made that going out of bounds 3 in the corner to win the game with no time left. That was probably one of the most amazing shots. I went and saw Vince Carter in person. He was playing back when he was playing with Toronto. I was up at a Bulls game. And for about 3 quarters, the Bulls stayed with him. That was when they had, I'm trying to think of, the Bulls had, crap, he got traded. I'll think of it here in a while, but no, nothing important. But so they were a real close game all the way through 3 quarters, and then all of a sudden it was like Vince Carter turned on the show. And he made this dunk where he was like floating in the air with holding the ball against his chest. And he waited till he got past the basket and just overhand or two-hand jammed it behind his head. And I was like, holy crap. I mean, he was just amazing. And, I mean, yeah, he's not as young as he used to be, can't fly like he used to, but, I mean, still, it was awesome to see. And also in the Atlanta Hawks Indiana Pacers game right now, it's 92-78. Hawks got the lead with 7:28 left to go in the fourth quarter. And now I actually just clicked to 93-78. But Pacers are making a little run at it. It's 11-6. They got a 5-point run in the fourth quarter, so they're coming back a little bit. Still down by 15, so I don't think they'll be tough to get that back. But you never know in the NBA. 15 points is nothing with a couple, 2-3 good threes, and you're right back in it. All going over to hockey playoffs right now. You got Penguins beat the Blue Jackets 4-3. And Sharks, Kings are no score. 16-12 left to go in the first period. And then you got the Avalanche and the Wild. Wild has got 2-1 lead in the second period with about 16 minutes left to go. So my Blackhawks actually won their series yesterday. What a great game! The guys, I can't even think of who it was. He was got a breakaway, and you just imagine how tough these guys are. The guy's skating along, and the guy sticks him in the face. And from behind, wraps it up around, slaps him in the face up under his face shield, and he still scores. I was like, wow, it was amazing to watch. Yeah, that was pretty cool. But my Blackhawks are going on, so I'd like to, give them credit. That was a good series. I was kind of a little worried there, and they come back and storm back involved into it. But no, it's been good playoffs. You got the NBA and you got the NHL going. I wish my Bulls would do a little better. They, I don't know what it is. They played better in the regular season, and now it seems like they're just gone flat. I'm hoping that they can regroup and get some things going. They're one game from being shut out of the playoffs, so hopefully they can. I think they play tomorrow night. Yeah, tomorrow night's games. Let's see here. We'll get a little recap of tomorrow night. Wizards Bulls play at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And you got the Grizzly Thunder play at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And then you got the Warriors and Clippers play at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So, that should be 3 good games tomorrow night. But going back to the current NBA games going on right now, you got Spurs Mavericks tied 25 in the second quarter, 10:19 left to go, and you got Pacers come back. They got down to 13, 94-81 left to go with about 6:03 left to go in that game. Switch screens here a little bit here. I wanted to go over a little bit of NCAA football. Just a few. They had they took the vote at to see whether they're going to unionize at Northwestern, and I guess that's sealed. That's going to be sealed until after they have the court case and they fight this through court to see if they can actually unionize. By the look at some of the players when they're walking in, it sounded like it was going to be a done deal, but they can't release the the vote until after the ruling, and they're gonna right now they're trying to fight that. So you're probably going to see within the next, if this actually does allow them to unionize, you might see college football and major other sports like basketball change a little bit over the next few years. But it's in college football. Jared Leaf, who is apparently the family of San Jose State football player Jared Leaf, says the linebacker is in critical condition after suffering burns to his body while escaping from a fire in his apartment near campus last week. Leaf, who had been listed as starting linebacker for the Spartans, the conclusion of spring practice, is being treated at Santa Clara Valley Medical Burn Center. He escaped the fire from about a block from campus late Wednesday night. Leaf expressed its appreciation to the hospital staff, San Jose State coaches, player athletic department officials, as well as all others who have provided support. The family says Jared has a long road ahead of him. We're confident he will recover with the continued support from all. And that's sad to see, a young individual. I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't affect his football. Hopefully he can come back and play football again. I have some friends of mine. I had one guy I was in the service with. He had been burnt and real bad on his leg, and he had to really watch how he would, when he was out in the sun, because he would he would get sunburnt really quickly. Well, right now it's time for our first break. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back a little bit. A few other things to talk about on the straight talk, but remember to send us your anything you want to talk about. Hashtag at Arm Radio, or you can call me at live. We're on Arm Radio Global.
Let me introduce you to my party people in the club.
I'm loose, and everybody knows I get off the train. Baby, it's the truth. I'm like Inception, I play with your brain.
Still waiting for the hot and trendy clothing to go on sale? Well, shop Ritzy Reruns. They're located at 1612 West Locust Street in Davenport, Iowa. Phone 563-322-8684. They offer brands such as Abercrombie, Hollister, American Eagle, North Face, and many others. Ritzy's carries tons of shoes of all shapes and sizes, plus a large selection of jewelry and designer purses like Louis Vuitton, Prada, Dooney & Burke, to mention a few. So remember Ritzy Reruns and like them on Facebook. It's where fashion isn't full price.
Do you love to travel? Are you tired of the cold? Do you just want to get away? Book your next flight, hotel, car, vacation, cruise, and more at sweetohinawaa.discounttravel.com. That's sweet, OHENEWAA, discounttravel.com. Invite your friends and family. Thank you for your business.
Too shy to speak English? Do you know anyone who needs to learn English? Is the free immersion method making your dad point at things instead of speaking? We've been there. We're tired of getting what we pay for at free ESL classes, just like you are. We can help. Get a real TEFL certified teacher for only $45 an hour. You're the boss, your learning style. We have small classes or one-on-one lessons available. Call 360-207-0163. Learn English today, or visit us online at www.high-honors-tutoring.webs.com. 360-207-0163. Call now and mention the 10% new student discount. 360-207-0163.
Are you looking for cheap web hosting? megalowhosting.com is a cheap and professional way to get your website off the ground. For only 89 cents a month, you can be on your way to starting your own business. With their special algorithm, never wait on the phone for tech support again. So if you're looking for a cheap but professional web hosting, megalowhosting.com is your place.
Train in the art of traditional Taekwondo. Chung Kim's Black Belt Academy was opened in the Quad Cities in 1972. Teaching and training established by 9th Dan Grandmaster Chung Kim. Classes range from Little Tigers class, beginners, intermediate, and advanced level classes. Hop Kie classes also available. Sign your children up and your parents train free with no contracts. For more information, call 563-359-7000 and like us on Facebook at Chung Kim's Black Belt Academy, or visit us on the web at www.chungkim.com. Taekwondo is your life's path.
VOX Mobile has an app that gives you a second phone line, second voicemail, and low-cost calling, so you no longer have to buy unlimited minutes from your mobile phone service provider. The VOX Mobile app has free texting and free video calls to other subscribers. But get this, VOX has phone numbers from 57 countries. You can download a foreign phone number from your home, or download a phone number from your home country when you're away. Then when people in that country call you, they get the cost of a local call, even when your mobile phone is overseas. And VOX gives you unlimited inbound calls for only $9.95 a month. Check out VOX Mobile on Google Play or on iTunes. That's VOX Mobile. It's under the mobile VoIP apps, or just search for VoIP. VOX is the only carrier with all these features on its app. Visit the website, voxcorp.net.
This is Jason Merrill from the John and Jay Show every Tuesday nights at 11 Eastern on Live 365 Radio, home of the big guns.
Wow, that tiger lily on your shoulder has amazing colors.
Thanks. I just got this tattoo a week ago.
What? No way. That tattoo looks totally healed. My tattoos never looked that great after a week. What did you use on it?
It's not what I used on it, it's what I used in it.
Now you're just making fun of me. What do you mean in it?
Tattoo Rick told me that it's not only what you put on your tattoos, it's what you put in your body that also affects your tattoos.
Great. Another thing I have to change about my diet.
No, nothing like that. I take the tattoo pill.
Really? There's a pill for tattoos?
Yeah, it's called a tattoo pill. It's packed with 30 vitamins and minerals that your body needs to help operate at ideal level. It helps me before, during, and after my tattoo. Great thing is, it's made here in the United States from all natural ingredients. And for people like me that are vegetarians, the tattoo pill comes in a veggie capsule and is gluten-free.
Okay, you got me. Where do I get this tattoo pill?
TheTattooPill.com.
TheTattooPill.com?
Yes, all one word, TheTattooPill.com.
Straight Talk with Matt Hasley. Every Monday and Friday, 9 p.m. Central Time. Only on Armed Radio Global.
The sun goes down, the stars come out, and all that counts is here and now. My universe will never be the same. I'm glad you came.
Once again, we're back live on Armed Radio Global, and this is your host, Matt Hasley. We're back live on Straight Talk. And I did want to do is let everybody know they can call in live at 1-866-225-5401, and that is toll-free. And you can also reach us on Facebook at Armed Radio 1 or Twitter at Armed Radio 1. And I think I got a few Twitter posts there, but we were talking, going around the league, we were talking a little bit about, different scores and everything, but I did want to do is, speaking of live leaked audio, I obtained some audio from a person, and I'm not going to say who it is, but I'm going to try to play the audio and see if anybody can pick out who this audio is about. And let me see if I can get it here. Can make sure we're live, get everything going. So,
if you know how to eat it, you put on fucking oil. Okay, that's what I do. You know what I mean? So it's the first time you eat that shit. Okay? Yeah, it is. You don't even know what do you call that? No, what do you? I know. I won't pick up on my JT. Okay. No. Yeah, go what? Is that what they call it? They don't call it caprese. They call it tomato mozzarella. Yeah. I'll have to look in the menu and see if they say tomato mozzarella. Yeah, you're a line cook, okay? And I'm a star maker, okay? I'm turning you into a fucking star, okay? Period. Oh, shit. Matt, did you call me? I don't know if you did or what, but give me a call. We're actually doing Tattoo Rick's with his show from Paparazzi in Burlington. Dog sitting there eating things that he doesn't understand, and Jimmy's just sitting there with his headset talking loud. So he's a good touch. Give me a call back. All right, bye.
Well, if you didn't recognize who that voice was, that was Joe Rocks, and he called my phone and didn't realize he had left the speakerphone going. So I heard him giving the dog. He was hitting the dog with the newspaper, I think. Kind of cracking him on the nose there, but yeah, it was just kind of funny to listen to, hearing in the background, and they were actually doing. He was Flint, aka Jimmy, was actually doing Tattoo Rick's show, Tara and Tattoo Rick's Afternoon Bites earlier today, so they were producing that show. So it's kind of funny that they were still live when that was going on. But no. It was funny to listen to them. I don't know if you ever catch them on Thursday nights. If you get a chance to, listen in. They're hilarious. They go back and forth. I've had Dog on my show. He's a funny guy. And they gel well together because you can tell they spend a lot of time together. I received a Facebook post, and it came from my daughter. My daughter goes to the University of Northern Iowa. And she sent me a link here, and it was kind of a neat link. It was one of the alumni entered a shoe contest. It was Dane Thompson from UNI alumnus and general manager at Other Place at American Sports Grill and Pizzeria. Apparently, he got into a shoe contest to design a shoe for Nike, and didn't realize it, thought it was a regular day until he checked his Twitter. And he said Thompson entered a shoe contest in December, thought it was fun, didn't expect to win. He goes, I was speechless to know that he'd picked mine out of all the other submissions. The contest was to help promote the first pair of golf shoes available for customization on Nike's ID website. Thompson design features a patriotic red, white, and blue color scheme inspired by the Winter Olympics 2014 Ryder Cup and 2014 U.S. Open. Woods will wear the shoes on tour this year, and Thompson will get a pair himself. Kind of a neat deal, just get involved and do something like that. Hopefully Tiger will be back. A little bit of news about Tiger here. Let's see if I can find it here on my screen. I got so many. Where is it at? It says, apparently Tiger Woods' agent says Tiger Woods has progressed to the point of light chipping and putting, and there have been zero setbacks or complications since his back surgery on March 31st. According to the golfer's agent, Mark Steinberg, Woods had surgery called microdiscectomy to alleviate a pinched nerve that caused him distress, and his last two tournaments had forced him to miss the Masters for the first time in 20 years. Steinberg said the hope was for Woods to return sometime this summer. He didn't waver from that in the telephone interview Wednesday. He's doing a little more and more each day. Steinberg told ESPN.com he's getting to the point of light chipping and putting, and the doctors and trainers seem to be pleased where he is. He's on a schedule, but I don't know what that schedule means. I don't know when he intends to be playing competitively. One thing is when you chip and putt, you tilt. An average person, or a professional golfer, I would say, they know how to hold their back into the right position to where they don't put undue strain on their lower back, and you can do that if you are not in the correct position at setup. Well, a lot of people, when they go out and they putt, and you tell them, they go out and I say, well, go putt for whatever. I tell my son, go putt, and tell people to go practice putting. And like my dad, when I was a kid, he'd say go putt 6-footers. And what you would do is he'd send you out there and you'd putt 6-footers till you made 10 in a row. And making 10 in a row from 6 feet doesn't sound like a lot, but you go putt 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You miss the 6th one, you start back at 1 again. So it can take a while. Especially if you're putting bad, it can take a long time. But so when he's out there putting and practicing that, he's probably getting a little workout on that back. It's probably a little sore after he gets done because some of the different things he has to do. But no, it's a good sign for him to be out there chipping and putting, and hopefully he'll be back soon. Other tour news. In Avondale, Louisiana, was a Zurich Classic. Sung Yol Na, Korean, apparently exhaled and tilted his head back in skyward gaze on the 18th green. Fellow South Korean players Wai Yang and Charlie Wee charged toward him, spraying him with bottled beer. Na smiled, removed his hat, held out both arms to soak it all in. The 22-year-old overcame windy conditions and the pressure that goes with attempting to secure a maiden PGA Tour triumph, shooting 1 under 71 on Sunday to win the Zurich Classic by 2 shots. Well, congratulations for him. He also achieved another goal, providing some joy to a nation that had been reeling since a passenger ship capsized on April 16th, leaving 300 missing or dead. Hopefully they'll be happy, said Na, who wore black and yellow ribbons on his white golf hat to honor the victims of the ferry accident. While Na, the leader through 3 rounds, fell out of first, he did make his first of 3 bogeys of the tournament and briefly fell into a tie with Keegan Bradley, the 2011 PGA Championship winner who had the gallery behind him. But Bradley did himself in with a bogey on the 5th and a triple bogey on the 6th. Actually played pretty well, Bradley said, just made 1 bad swing on 6 and had a bunch of lip outs. Now remains steady enough even with the winds gusting up to 30 miles an hour to hold off the remaining challengers. The final leaderboard went as Na minus 19, Zvoto 17, Streb 17, Overton was 16 under, Garrigus, Compton, and Hoffman were all at 14 under. So that's pretty cool. See him come out with his first win. Lydia Ko wins with the 18th pin in championship in sight. Lydia Ko found herself in the rough again in the day filled off target drives. The teen told herself she just needed one more important chip with the tournament on the line. Poised and unflappable, Ko made the perfect pitch to the green and birdied the final hole for her first LPGA Tour victory as a professional and a third in all, holding off Stacey Lewis and Jenny Shin on Sunday in an inaugural Swinging Skirts LPGA Classic. And one memorable week, Ko turned 17, earned a spot as one of the 100 most influential people in the world by Time Magazine and captured her first LPGA Tour win as a pro, all while playing with a fill-in caddy from her local club. That's pretty cool. Liddy Ko is especially exciting for women, fulfilling the promise predicted by anyone who has ever seen her swing a club since she was 13. At the beginning of the day, a stroke behind Lewis, Ko birdied 3 of her final 4 holes on the front 9 to a way to 369, 12 under, 276 total at Lake Merced. Ko earned $270,000 celebrating an 18th green 3 days after celebrating her birthday at the first tee box with the gallery singing "Happy Birthday." Ko, born in South Korea and raised in New Zealand, will move up to 2 spots to number 2 in the world golf ranking at 17. That's amazing. An ace nets Dewey Claire Schriefel $100,000. Dutch woman Dewey Claire Schriefel won $100,000 for her hole-in-one at the Swing and Skirts LPGA Championship, or Classic. Schriefel aced the 157-yard 12th hole with a 7-iron on Sunday at Lake Merced Golf Club, earning her the prize money from the China Trust Bank. She joked it was her biggest check of the year, then told herself while walking up 18, "Wow, that's worth more than a car." The 28-year-old had just her second lifetime hole-in-one and first on the LPGA Tour. Shot a 171 in the final round for a 4-over, 292 total. There was a second hole-in-one Sunday by Jiming Kang on a 164-yard number 3. She didn't identify the club, but she used before departing. So that's pretty cool. I've had 2 myself, and I didn't win any money when I had my hole-in-one. Actually, it cost me a night of drinking that I think it was like $185 it cost me, because all my friends, when I made the hole-in-one, they thought it meant open tab for them, and so I ended up spending a lot on alcohol that night, and not for me, for them, but no. Also, Alexander Levy wins the China Open. Alexander Levy was so relaxed on the course of the China Open on Sunday, not even a double bogey that erased his comfortable lead could wipe the grin off his face. Rather than get down over what had been a costly mistake, the 23-year-old Frenchman recovered with back-to-back birdies on his final 2 holes to capture the maiden European Tour title by 4 strokes over Tommy Fleetwood. Andrew Putnam wins on Web.com Tour. Midland, Texas, Andrew Putnam won the WNB Golf Classic for his first Web.com Tour title Sunday with the high wind wiped out the final round at the Midland Country Club. Yeah, we had high winds here yesterday that wouldn't believe. Putnam earned $108,000 to jump from 6th to 2nd on the money list with $248,000, more than enough to earn a spot on the 2014 PGA Tour. His older brother Michael is on the PGA Tour this season after winning the Web.com Tour money title last year. Mexico's Carlos Ortiz, a 2-time winner this year, led the money list with $318,000. The former North Texas player tied for 9th at 10 under. In NASCAR news, Richmond, Virginia Joey Logano punched his ticket to NASCAR's playoffs. Marcus Ambrose punched Casey Mears. Logano used a savvy move to get around 3 dueling former champions in the final lap Saturday night at Richmond International Raceway. The classic sports track ending caused tempers to flare in a big way in the garage afterwards. I guess the biggest skirmish had Ambrose, who finished 18th, confronting Mears, who was 19th. Mears first punched Ambrose out of the way, and Ambrose retaliated with a thundering punch in the face that appeared to draw blood. It was unclear what caused the two to confront each other, but NASCAR Vice President of Competition Robert Pemberton said the governing body would review the matter. Logano, meanwhile, needed 26 races and 2 trips to Richmond before putting himself in NASCAR's playoff last season. There'll be no such nail-biting this year, and it took just one Richmond race to make it so. Yeah, that was. I saw the replay of the fight, and it looked like a hockey match there for a minute. They were going at it. Yeah, I'm surprised more of that doesn't happen. Those guys are bumping and grinding into each other all the time. So, yeah, you see cars. I'm really surprised you don't have a lot going off and purposely wrecking them. But once again, it's time for another quick break. We're going to take a break here, and we'll be right back. And this is your host, Matt Hasley. We're live on Straight Talk.
We dance, we live until forever. We drink, the party won't forget us. 'Cause we are the fire that burns when there will be no return. Let it roll. We are the people that move. We are what's new, and we won't lose. No, we won't lose. No, we won't lose.
Whether building, expanding, or remodeling, the name in site work is Savino Contracting. Experts in demolition, excavation, sewer and septic tank installation, and site prep. Get in touch on Twitter at Savino Contract or call 508-989-0960 or email to evsavino@yahoo.com. Savino Contracting has what it takes to get the job done.
Glastic water bottle, a shatterproof glass water bottle. It's great for any liquid because everything tastes best in glass. A leak-proof lid you can close and toss on the couch without worry. Chances are it won't ever break, but if it does, no worries. The glass is safely contained inside a protective outer shell, so you won't have a dangerous mess to clean up. You can safely remove the broken glass and get replacements. Go to GlasticWaterBottle.com to get your very own Glastic bottle today. That's GlasticWaterBottle.com. GLASSTIC waterbottle.com. What are you waiting for?
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand-new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at Route106Motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. Route106Motors.com.
Christian Pleva is Boston's premier wedding and personal photographer. Turning his passion into a life's work, he has dedicated himself to bringing his talents to capture the special memories of the beginning of your life's journey together. Christian uses the most updated equipment and software to handle any size wedding event, from full church and reception to a small intimate ceremony in the courthouse. Contact him today at www.christianplevaimages.com for booking information and available dates.
Do you have what it takes? Well, coming May 3rd, Chung Kim's Black Belt Academy will host its 42nd annual U.S. Metropolitan Open Taekwondo Championship. Traditional competitions in forms, board breaking, and point fighting. Ages 4 and up with categories and divisions for kids, teens, adults, and seniors. Competing for over 450 trophies. One of the largest traditional tournaments in the Midwest. For more information, call 563 359-7000 or log on to www.chungkim.com. We'll see you there.
Crown Military Miniatures celebrates this holiday season with an enormous selection of new and vintage collector quality toy soldiers. You have to see the photorealistic detail on the World War II armor or the sheer volume of the figures from the American Civil War to the Zulu Wars to the Jacobite Rebellion. If soldiers were there, Crown Military Miniatures has it covered in little men cast and pewter. Veterans, active duty personnel, and military enthusiasts, you have to check out Crown Military Miniatures. Visit them online at crowntoysoldiers.com or visit their store at 88 North Broadway in tax-free Salem, New Hampshire. In the morning, you have bacon, you have eggs, pancakes, and that nice big tall cup of coffee. But now, every Monday morning, you can start your week out right with On the Air Monday Morning Brew, starring yours truly, Mike Allen. Hey, that's me. Wake up in the morning, get a nice cup of coffee, kick back before you start your week, and let me send you on your way. Monday's getting a bad rap. Let's turn that around. On the Air with Mike Allen, Monday Morning Brew, every Monday morning, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, right here on Armed Radio.
So rise and shine.
Straight Talk with Matt Hasley. Every Monday and Friday, 9 p.m. Central Time. Only on Armed Radio Global. Armed Radio Global.
We're back on Straight Talk. This is Matt Hasley again. Special thanks to our sponsors out there. Remember, if you want to do is reach us, you can call us 1-866-225-5401, or you can reach us on Facebook at Arm Radio 1, or you can reach us on Twitter at Arm Radio 1. Just hashtag it Arm Radio, and I'll see it pop up there. So if you want to send me a tweet, we had a few earlier. And Facebook messages, too. I can see those. So if you tag me in a Facebook message. Currently doing a little NBA update. The final Hawks-Pacers. Hawks end up winning by 10, 107-97. There's 14 seconds left to go in the half. Spurs are leading 48-36. I like it how it says 13 seconds left to go in the half. Now it says 14 seconds, so it just went up. But, and in NHL score update, let's see here. We got, end of the first period, you got Kings leading the Sharks 1-0. Penguins Blues, that was a final 4-3. And then, end of the second period, you got Avalanche Wild tied at 2. So, been pretty good series in both of both the NBA and NHL. So, and whatnot. I know Mike Allen's been waiting for this, but coming up soon, NFL draft, and I'm sure he's going to do a live show on that. So I'd like to. I mean, I'm hoping my Bears can draft some defense. We need some defense. We got Jared Allen now. They got rid of Peppers, and it was sad to see him go to Green Bay. But hopefully getting Jared Allen, that'll make up for him. Let's see here. We're gonna go. I got a couple different segments I want to do, but right now we're gonna do a couple crazy stories I come across. I won't say crazy, but a little bit different stories. But I like to do the different stories. I don't want to do all the, the real current topics. So this is kind of the fun stories. Vancouver bar, and I was waiting to see if I could get my somebody on there from one of my buddies from Canada on, but I want to see if they've ever been there. It says Vancouver bar, top $60 cocktail with burger, pulled pork, and chicken wings. Vancouver, British Columbia. A bar in Vancouver has come up with a new twist on Canada's equivalent of the Bloody Mary. It's basically a supersized brunch on a top of a cocktail. The score on Davy's new cocktail, the $60 Checkmate Caesar. It's made of classic ingredients like vodka and tomato juice, but that's not all. The 5,000, not 500, 5,000 calorie drink comes garnished with roasted chicken, a burger, a pulled pork sriracha glazed slider, onion rings, chicken wings, a mac and cheese hot dog, and a brownie for dessert. If you can walk out of there afterwards. But when the news about the drink began to spread, diners and media outlets alike took notice. Media all over the world, Good Morning America, a few blog sites, when you order it, expect people to want to take pictures of you with it. Bar owner Jesse Ritchie told CTV News it's a huge hit. That would be something I'd like to go out and try once. But you ever seen the Adam Richman from Man vs. Food? There's some of those things that he does. I don't know how he does it. I mean, I know he doesn't do the show anymore. He's off of it. But I mean, he did it for years. And some of them I almost got sick watching him do it. I don't mind jalapenos, but I don't like it. I don't want something when I eat it, it's like eating jet fuel. I'm sorry. If you can't taste it. When a guy's got to wear an aspirator to make it, it's too hot. I'm not into that. I would rather have something that I can taste the food. But this sounds kind of cool. I just don't like the 5,000 calorie, drink there. But yeah, they actually have a place here in Iowa, which is actually near Des Moines. And if I get a chance to get up there, it's called Zombie Apocalypse, and they make a burger that is. It's amazing how they did it. It's really cool. They take a piece of a PVC tube that's the size of what a burger bun would be, and they cook mac and cheese, and then they pour it into that tube, and the one end is sealed, and they take the tube and they put it in their freezer and they freeze it overnight, or for, I don't know, probably longer than that. So this tube is frozen. They pull it out, cut the tube, split it in half, and there's your, one long, it's in the shape of that tube of mac and cheese. It's frozen. So they take a knife or whatever, they got a cutter, special cutter there, and they cut it into like the size of what a bun would be for a burger. Then they do is they wet it, dip it in this, it's like this, it's kind of like angel flake, crispy, it's like a breadcrumb almost, and they put that on it, and then they throw that, which is mac and cheese with the angel crusted over top of it, and they put it in the fryer. And I'm not sure how long they fry it for, but it's thawed out by then. And then they pull it out and they put it with the burger, and they got the mac and cheese over top and bottom, and they put more mac and cheese on it and more cheese and everything. And I'm not sure, it might have my all-time favorite, it has bacon in there. And I talk about bacon. I made actually bacon tonight, and it was peppered bacon. So, but no, it's and they call it the Walking Ched is the name of the burger, and it's mac and cheese top, mac and cheese bottom, and the burger in the middle. I mean, it's just I gotta try it because I just imagine biting into the burger and having all that mac and cheese come out of there. Oh, it just sounds awesome. They have a place right across the river from where I'm at here. They got one of those, the burger that looks like it's 1 pound with the big old steak knife, the big, looks like almost like a sword through the top of it on TV. It's called like JKOs or something like that, but it just looks, I like that when you get into, if you go out to a place and it has a big burger like that. I used to love going to Fuddruckers. We had a Fuddruckers here and they closed it. And getting the big burgers. I'm not into the 2-pounders or anything like that, but I would love to go try that, I would try this Bloody Mary once, or whatever it's called. It's actually the Checkmate Caesar, but boy, for $60, whoo, that's a little steep. But no, I'm sure Mike Allen and I would love to sit down and have a couple of those. I wait for the tweet from him. So, also, other news, rapper Tyga apparently could face charges of having a pet tiger at his California home. Apparently he wanted to be like Mike Tyson in the movie. But rapper could get up to 6 months in jail for a misdemeanor possession of prohibited species. I doubt he'll probably get it, but he had a 7-month-old male Bengal tiger. When they went to investigate, the animal was nowhere to be seen. The animal can, however, be seen in pictures on the Young Money Artist Instagram account. So he's got it hidden somewhere. Oklahoma Little League team raises money by raffling off an AR-15. It says the Little League team in Oklahoma is raising money for equipment and travel. Has it been a hit with many members of the local community? The Oak City Outlaws have come under fire for raffling off an AR-15, but the coach has no problem with defending the idea. This is Western Oklahoma. There's a lot of people that carry guns out here and are proud of guns. Coach Denny Gino told KFOR, if you raise your kids the right way and they understand the safety, then I don't think there's a problem with it. According to Gino, the raffle winner will have to pass a background check before receiving the gun. He also said that the other local groups have raffled firearms in the past. I can see where the parents have concern, especially if they were brought up here, said parent Andy Shelton. For some people, guns are not their thing, but people out here, it's a popular sport, hobby, activity that lots of families enjoy. I don't have any problem with it. And the reason why I don't have any problem with it is because they're going to do is make sure that it goes to a legitimate gun, owner. They're going to do is do a background check on them, and they're going to cover all their bases, and they'll probably get more people. If they were selling candy bars, they're probably going to get more people involved to buy tickets to raffle off for, to win an AR-15 than they will ever get selling candy bars. So I remember when I was a kid in Little League, we used to try to sell candy bars, and at the end of it, ended up, we didn't sell many, and my parents ended up buying a lot of candy bars. So just had a tweet come in. It said, guns are not the problem. Lack of education about guns is. Yeah, I got to agree with that. Society has changed over to where everybody's so afraid of them. They want you to be afraid of them. So if you want something, be scared of something, what do? They tell you, oh, it's bad. Well, I don't necessarily think guns are bad. There's a lot of bad people with guns. I'm an ex-police officer. I don't have any problem with somebody carrying a gun legally. Yes, there's some people that I don't think should carry guns. I've seen some officers that I don't think should carry guns. But, no, it's, it's a nasty topic to get involved in. A lot of people think that no matter what, the gun is is the problem. Is everybody's so afraid of that gun, they think it's going to cause a problem. Well, you know, I don't think it's necessarily the gun, it's the education is. And a lot of people go, oh, well, video games and these movies are what cause the people to do harm and damage. Well, I grew up watching, Elmer Fudd try to go around and with a double-barrel shotgun trying to kill this rabbit. And I watched this Wile E. Coyote try to do everything he could to kill this Roadrunner. And, after years and years and years as a kid watching this Roadrunner, I wish he would just catch him every once in a while, And then, you look at Popeye, what'd they do? Every cartoon had violence in it. So I didn't grow up to wanting to go around and shoot anybody. So, I used to go out, we used to go in the neighborhood and, when I was a kid, we used to go around and play. We actually played what they call Army. We'd go around and we had our teams, and there was no, it was just kids having fun. Nowadays, a kid eats his Pop-Tart into the shape of a gun, they suspend him from school. I think that's a little overkill, but you got people that think that that's the way it should be. Well, it's they should have some freedom. Kids are kids. Kids don't understand that. Kids, if they had a kid get suspended for pointing his finger, it's just a zero tolerance with a kid. If you have any kids of your own, you'll understand that you'll tell them to stop something. 5 minutes later, you tell them to stop it again. 5 minutes later, you tell them to stop it again, and you have to do is handle that with, you can't just go. What do? Go off and you can't go crazy on the kid. Here's one story that just it irritates me, but there was apparently a live leaked video shows a Russian father teaching his toddler how to smoke. I'm like, okay, there's a problem right there. It said a video of that appears to show his Russian father teaching his toddler how to smoke a cigarette has been making the rounds on social media after it was posted to Live Leak. The video, Father of the Year, has already been viewed more than 150,000 times. According to a translation, the man asked the boy, "Did it kick in?" during a clip. A woman can also be heard in the background giggling at certain times during the video. The kid looks like he's about 2, maybe 3 years old. And I'm like, smoking a cigarette. Come on. That doesn't. I don't know how you could. You think that's okay? I know it's in Russia, but still. Teaching your kid how to smoke at 2-3 years old. And a lot of people come out, well, it's my kid, I should be able to say, do what I want with him. And no, I'm sorry. You shouldn't be able to. There's some people, they just don't know how to be a parent. One of my dad's best advice he ever gave me is, don't try to be your kid's best friend. And, and he didn't. But I do have to give him credit. He was acknowledged for a Hero Award from the John Deere Classic earlier this week. He came out, actually last Friday, and it came out in the paper. And it was funny, I heard it was coming out before it did. And I'm looking all through the paper, and I'm like, I posted it on my Facebook, so I'll actually could post it on Arm Radio if I get a chance. But I had probably 60 people like it and send messages and everything. It was really nice. He has volunteered so much time that people have no idea, that live in this community have no idea what he's done for golf around here. They call him the godfather of golf of the Quad Cities, and that's what he is. I just call him Dad. I said, I posted on my Facebook, I've been trying to fill his shoes for years, and the problem is shoes keep getting bigger. So I there's no way I'll ever be able to fill them, and I'm not gonna try anymore. Just I'd like to do is just sit back and enjoy what he's done for everything for me and for golf around this area. He's been, after he retired, he has gone on and helped start the first tee of the Quad Cities, and the program is designed to help underprivileged kids and youth get involved into golf and life lessons. Well, there's probably anywhere from 5 to 800 kids that go through the program every year, and he's been with this is his 14th year. He just turned 80, and he's still going strong, helping teach everything. And somebody asked me, he goes, do you think your dad will ever retire? And I said, I don't think he'll ever stop. I mean, he goes to work every day, and I mean, 7 days a week. I mean, if you do something that you truly love, it's not work, and that's the way he's been. I saw him today. We talked for a bit, and we talked about his article, and he's kind of humble about it. He doesn't like to get the accolades that some stuff like that. He's just not that way. They always joked with him years ago that they were going to put a rotating bust of him, of his head and everything that would rotate on the driving range, and he used to get so mad when the kids would mess with him about it. But just kind of a cute story about it. But talking about, an Oregon man demands marijuana and Mountain Dew during his 8-hour police standoff. It says, an Oregon man and his girlfriend were arrested Saturday after an 8-hour standoff with police that involved marijuana, Mountain Dew, and the male anatomy. James Mark O'Brien and his girlfriend Carrie Hurley, who refused to surrender to police and authorities, attempted to bring Bryan in on outstanding warrants for reckless driving and absconding. The 44-year-old were so uncooperative that the Oregon SWAT police were called in. He was kicking out windows, yelling and screaming, standing in the window, making gestures with his penis, and showing his buttocks in the nude. Police Chief Marvin Hoover told the Oregonian at one point he was wanting a pack of cigarettes, a Mountain Dew, and some marijuana. The house that Bryan and Hurley were holed up in also had signs outside that contained some graffiti writings like white supremacist type group stuff. During the standoff, the group called local TV station KATU to complain about the police. Why would the cops keep on cruising by, Bryan said on the phone. Because they want to take me out, because I'm going to take this whole country down. That is why I got the paperwork to blank SWAT team who's out there in front of me. They read it. They don't care. Apparently he'd been doing a little bit of marijuana before then or something. But, it goes on to talk about after authorities eventually used tear gas to subdue the suspect, Hurley was charged with hindering prosecution, and Bryan was charged with resisting arrest, indecent exposure, and first-degree criminal mischief. One way to get yourself in a lot of trouble. Don't wave your whacker at him. Now, here's one that really got me. You think about mowing your yard, you're out there mowing, and you're just going along, and you get your riding mower going. But you never think of this happening. It says, plane crashes into a man on a lawnmower during a landing at North Carolina airport. An elderly North Carolina had lost his hand after he was struck by a plane while riding a lawnmower at Taylorsville Airport in Alexander County. The pilot of the plane, 84-year-old Eugene Sisson, didn't see the 74-year-old Rufty on his lawnmower until just before impact. Rufty's left hand was severed by the propeller of the plane during the collision. Ooh. State Highway Patrolman Sergeant Brian Owen told the New York Daily News that Sisson was touching down on the airport grass, landing on his way to visit family in the area. No one was on hand to warn Rufty about the plane because the airport doesn't have air traffic controller. Rufty would have been able to hear or see the plane coming, Ornby said, and the pilot was unable to see the driver until just before impact. The NTSB and the FAA are investigating the incident, but no charges are pending at this time. Sisson was not injured during the accident. Wow, that's lucky. Then there's another video that went viral around the internet, and this is a viral video that shows a Florida father kicking his son off a ramp at a skate park. It says video was shot at Florida skate park that appears to show a father kicking his son off a large ramp has prompted Department of Children and Family investigation. The video, which was uploaded by Instagram by users, shows Marcus Crossland appearing to kick his 6-year-old son down a ramp at Kona State Park in Arlington neighborhood of Jacksonville, Florida. The video quickly made the rounds on social media, and now DCFS is getting involved. We do not consider this to be appropriate behavior. Unfortunately, parents get so enthusiastic about their kids and their abilities in skateboarding, baseball, football, and whatever sometimes take it a little too far, and the park's operator, Martin Ramos, told First Coast News. I had a story that I did, it's been probably a couple weeks back. We had a local park here that had been targeted by vandals where they had attached razor blades to the playground equipment to cause injuries to the young kids as they were sliding down the slides, and they put razor blades so when they would climb on the monkey bars, they would actually cut their hands. They were kind of out of sight, so you wouldn't see them. You'd stick your hand up and reach up and grab them. Well, apparently, thanks to Julian Vandevelli, who is an NFL professional football player, put a reward out for $1,000. I think it was $1,000 he gave to along with Crime Stoppers, who also did an award. Well, apparently they have suspects that they are working to see if, they have people of interest, they call them. And they are working on trying to get more information and question them to find out what happened and what more they know. But anybody that would sit there and take a razor blade and fix it to a slide or a monkey bar where they're going to reach up with their hands to cut a child has something seriously wrong with them. I mean, I don't know what you get out of that, what makes you feel good about yourself, or you think that that's funny to see a little kid get caught and cry. That's, I don't know where that comes from. I just, I would never even think about that. When I heard about that story originally, I was like, why would, what would, make somebody want to do that? But, not all people are, thinking they're in the right, I guess, in the right mind or whatever it is. Like they always say, lefties think in their right mind. Well, it scares me to think what people would do. You get people that, we had one lady that was abducted from here. she was 29. Well, I don't know if I think personal opinion, being an ex-police officer, from what I heard about it was, I'd almost bet that her boyfriend or whatever was involved in this, just by the way it was the story took place. But yeah, it's just sad that the way our society has gone to a lot of this. You know, you see people do things that just doesn't make a lot of sense. And it's not just because of, education. You could be told to do something, and you know it's wrong. You got to do is, you can't just go ahead and fall along with the flow. I'm sorry, but if buddies of mine wanted to go do something like that, I'm sorry, but I'm turning them in. I'm not going to prison for life because they want to sit there and do something stupid. Somebody posted on my Facebook, one of my Facebook friends, and I can't remember who it was, but I gave him credit. The statement said is, don't, and it's not an exact statement, but it said, don't let temporary moment of stupidity make something permanent. And, I was like, that makes a lot of sense. You think about that. Don't let your temporary moment of stupidity end up being permanent. And, it for too many people, it happens. Well, right now it's time for our next break. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back on Straight Talk. And you're listening to Matt Hasley, and we're on Armed Radio Global.
This is International Big Mega Radio Smasher.
I had the time of my life, and I never felt this way before. And I swear this is true, and I owe it all to you.
Oh, I had the time of my life, and I never felt this way before. And I swear this is true, and I owe it all to you.
Dirty bit.
Hey, listen up. Are you tired of being tired? Looking for that extra boost? Do yourself a favor and visit buylimitlessenergy.com to learn about limitless energy. That's buylimitlessenergy.com for limitless energy. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Buylimitlessenergy.com. That's buylimitlessenergy.com. So stop wasting your life. Get limitless energy now.
Visit crafterstown.com, your website to buy and sell arts and crafts worldwide. At Crafterstown, you will find unique arts and crafts from around the world. We also have Grammy's Tips of the Day blog for shortcuts to crafting. Take a walk down Main Street at crafterstown.com. Glastic Water Bottle, a shatterproof glass water bottle. It's great for any liquid because everything tastes best in glass. A leak-proof lid you can close and toss on the couch without worry. Chances are it won't ever break, but if it does, no worries. The glass is safely contained inside a protective outer shell, so you won't have a dangerous mess to clean up. You can safely remove the broken glass and get replacements. Go to GlasticWaterBottle.com to get your very own Glastic bottle today. That's GlasticWaterBottle.com. GLASSTIC waterbottle.com. What are you waiting for?
Do you love film? Do you want to star in one this summer? Check out OrangeLeafFilms.com, an indie film company made for making moments last. This summer, Orange Leaf Films' new film, Sin, a story of a modern take on the 7 deadly sins, is coming soon. To learn more about being in the film or helping the production crew, go to OrangeLeafFilms.com for more details.
Do you love to travel? Are you tired of the cold? Do you just want to get away? Book your next flight, hotel, car, vacation, cruise, and more at SweetOhinawaDiscountTravel.com. That's OHENEWAA discounttravel.com. Invite your friends and family. Thank you for your business.
It's freaking crazy hot at mobilewebsites.com. Everyone and their grandma is mobile. Get more mobile customers before your competition does. HotMobileWebsites.com will custom design an eye-popping mobile website, then throw in a free domain and hosting for 1 whole year. All done for you for only $259. That's right, $259. That's crazy and hot. Over 1,000 in savings. Never any setup fees or contracts. Go to hotmobilewebsites.com or call now, 877-220-5576. That's 877-220-5576. One more time, 877-220-5576.
VOX Mobile has an app that gives you a second phone line, second voicemail, and low-cost calling, so you no longer have to buy unlimited minutes from your mobile phone service provider. The VOX Mobile app has free texting and free video calls to other subscribers. But get this, VOX has phone numbers from 57 countries. You can download a foreign phone number from your home, or download a phone number from your home country when you're away. Then when people in that country call you, they get the cost of a local call, even when your mobile phone is overseas. And VOX gives you unlimited inbound calls for only $9.95 a month. Check out VOX Mobile on Google Play or on iTunes. That's VOX Mobile. It's under the mobile VoIP apps, or just search for VoIP. VOX is the only carrier with all these features on its app. Visit the website, voxcorp.net.
Straight Talk with Matt Hasley. Every Monday and Friday, 9 p.m. Central Time. Only on Armed Radio Global.
Bring the action.
When you hear this in the club, you gotta turn it up. You gotta turn it up. You gotta turn it up. When we up in the club, all eyes on us. All eyes on us. All eyes on us. See the boys in the club, they're watching us.
Okay, we're back live on Straight Talk. This is your host, Matt Hasley. And just by looking on my Facebook timeline, as you want to call it, as it's going through, a lot of people are talking about this Clippers owner, being so stupid about some of the things he did. It's a very polarizing topic. I don't agree with his viewpoint. I do believe that his girlfriend set him up. I think there was some... I just don't... How do you get that much audio and this guy not realize he's on audio? And... this guy is... it's probably a good thing that they did get him on audio, but there's a reason why he was set up. Something, I don't know. The one post I had was... or tweet I had was... that he was set up by his gold-digging girlfriend. Well, yeah, it wouldn't take much to set him up. Just a few comments, for him, because you never saw her, he makes it, the one thing that threw me off, and, being an ex-police officer, is there's no argument on her side. And he's always saying, you're always arguing with me. And she's always going, yes, 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 over and over, to make it sound like she's never argumentative. So, yeah, it may have been a setup, but it's even though it was set up, it doesn't change the fact that what he said and how he feels. It's just like a police officer selling somebody, going undercover and selling them drugs. That person's still, or buying drugs from somebody undercover, that person's still guilty of doing, selling drugs. Just because they were stupid enough to sell it to a police officer, and he was stupid enough to be recorded by her. He was, you know, it wouldn't have mattered. He still had that viewpoint. So, you know, I don't really have a problem with her recording him. You know, you just, if you, you know, and it's not just being called being politically correct, because, you know, he has a, I think he's got a mentality issue there. But I mean, he's apparently a very good businessman, because he's worth, you know what, you know, going to be worth. He bought the, you know, the Clippers for what, $12 million. Now they're worth what, $500 million. So, you know, I just we're back on the subject again. But I did want to do is cover the celebrity birthdays today, April 28th, and a couple hotties here. Got people chiming in on Facebook. It's Jessica Alba, 33. Hottie, her birthday's today. She looks just gorgeous. Jay Leno, 64. Penelope Cruz, 40. Drew Seeley, TV actor, 32. Anne Margaret, 73. Harry Shum Jr., TV actor, 32. Bradley Wiggins, cyclist, 34. Jenna Uskowitz, 28, TV actress. Former President James Monroe, would have been his birthday. He died in 1831. Rapper Too Short, 48. Drew Scott from HGTV, he is 36. Harper Lee, author, 88. Alex Riley, 33, wrestler. Nancy Lee Grahn, 56, TV actress. Jorge Garcia, 41, TV actor. Vernon Kay, 40, TV show host. Alicia Allen, movie actress, 23. Violent J, rapper, 42. Bridget Moynihan, boy, she's gorgeous, 44, movie actress. David Freese, Cardinals baseball player, 31. And Jonathan Silver Scott, which is Drew's brother, which they are twins. I don't know if you knew that, but I'm surprised they don't put their birthdays right next to each other on those. Ferruccio Lamborghini, and by the tell of that last name, you pretty get a good idea what he did. Passed away in 1993. Carolyn Jones, TV actress, died in 1983. Howard Donnell, 46, songwriter. Murray McDonald, 62, movie actress. Nicholas Lindstrom, hockey player, 44. And it would have been Saddam Hussein's birthday. I like how it says it on there, what his title is. Criminal. I would, former president of Iraq, Saddam Hussein. 2006 is when he was, he lived till. Hard to believe it's been that many years since then. Chuck Leavell, pianist, 62. Lionel Barrymore, 1954 movie actor. Chris Kamen, 32, basketball player. Scott Fitzgerald, 66, singer. Barry Larkin, 50, baseball player. Kind of hard to believe it's been, he's 50. John Daly, a professional golfer, 48. Happy birthday, John. I like John Daly. David Krejci, 28, hockey player. Supreme Court Justice Elena Kagan, 54. Samantha Ruth Prabhu, I don't know how you pronounce that, but TV actress, 27. Nate Richard, 36, TV actor. Terry Pratchett, 66, author. Wayne Osmond, 63, singer. And you got Kim Gordon, 61, singer. Boy, she looked good. Ann Anka, 43 model. Yeah, she's looks gorgeous for 43. Alice Waters, 18, chef. She's 70. And Marcia Strassman, 66, TV actress. God, she doesn't look 66. And also, switching over to On This Day in miscellaneous history there. Let's see, here we go. Let's see, Mike Wallace was seen on TV for the first time. He hosted Mike Wallace Interviews, 1957. 1959, Arthur Godfrey was seen for the last time in the final broadcast of Arthur Godfrey and His Friends on CBS TV. 1965, U.S. Army Marines invaded Dominican Republic to evacuate Americans. 1967, Muhammad Ali refused induction to the U.S. Army and was stripped of his boxing title. He cited religious grounds for his refusal. 1969, Charles de Gaulle resigned as President of France. In 1969, in Santa Rosa, California, Charles M. Schultz Redwood Empire Ice Cream Arena opened. 1977, Christopher Boyce was convicted of selling U.S. secrets. In 1985, the largest sandcastle in the world was completed near St. Petersburg, Florida. It was 4 stories tall. In 1988, in Maui, Hawaii, one flight attendant was killed when the fuselage of Boeing 737 ripped open in mid-flight. 1989, Mobil announced that they were divesting from South African because of congressional restrictions were too costly. 1994, former CIA official Aldrich Ames, who had given U.S. secrets to the Soviet Union and Russia, pled guilty to espionage and tax evasion, was sentenced to life in prison without parole. In 1996, U.S. President Clinton gave 4.5-hour videotape testimony as defense witness in a criminal trial of his former Whitewater business partners. In 1999, U.S. House of Representatives rejected on a tie vote of 213 to 213 a measure expressing support for NATO's 5-week-old campaign in Yugoslavia. The House also voted to limit President's authority to use ground forces in Yugoslavia. In 2000, Jay Leno received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And in 2001, a Russian rocket launched from Central Asia with the first space tourist aboard. The crew consisted of a California businessman, Dennis Tito, and 2 cosmonauts. The destination was the International Space Station. And in this day in music history, 1965, Barbra Streisand's first TV special aired on CBS. It was titled My Name is Barbara. In 1980, the Marshall Tucker Band bass player Tommy Caldwell died of injuries he got in a car accident in Spartanburg, South Carolina. In 1987, on a plane, he was returning to Boston from Miami. Ozzy Osbourne brought 3 rounds of drinks and sang Crazy Train over the PA system. In 1986, for the first time, a compact disc of an album was released before its final version. The album was The Art of Excellence by Tony Bennett. It was the first album upon re-signing with Columbia Records. 1987, REM's Dead Letter Office was released in the U.S. 1989, John Bon Jovi and Dorothea Hurley were married. They had been high school sweethearts. In 1999, the Verve announced that the band members had mutually agreed to break up the band. 1999, Marilyn Manson walked up the stage during the concert in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, when he realized that someone had put a large yellow smiley face on a stage prop. 23 arrests were made in the aftermath. In 1999, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. In 2002, Vince Neil allegedly attacked a record producer on the outside of the Rainbow Room in West Hollywood. Neil pled guilty to a misdemeanor charge of battery on September 27, 2002. 2003, the iTunes Music Store with over 200,000 items to purchase. And I would hate to think what it is now. 2004, the iTunes Music Store marked its first anniversary with over 70 million songs sold. That was in 2004, 70 million songs. Wouldn't you like to just get a percentage of that? That would be all right. I can handle that. But nope, that's this day in music history. NBA scores right now. 147 left to go in the third quarter. Spurs are leading Mavericks 73-61. The other games became final. Hawks ended up beating the Pacers 107-97, and the Heat beat the Bobcats 109-98. NHL news. With 4:14 left to go in the second period, the Sharks and Kings are both tied at 1. And with 3:25 left to go in the third period, the Wild is leading the Avalanche 3-2. The other game that went final, the Penguins beat the Blue Jackets 4-3. Here's kind of a funny one here, is French tourist mistakes Richard Gere for a homeless man and gives him a pizza. Apparently, a French tourist gave a homeless man in New York City her leftover pizza when she saw him going through the trash near Grand Central Terminal. It turns out it was Richard Gere. Karine Gambeau didn't realize that Gere was on the set of Time Out of Mind when she gave him the leftover of her enormous pizza she had just gotten in Little Italy. I said, I am sorry, but the pizza is cold, the 42-year-old told the New York Post. He said, thank you so much, God bless you. Gambeau only found out what happened after an employee showed up her with a photo of herself with the 64-year-old actor in the newspaper. It was magical. It's crazy, this story. It's unimaginable that somebody like this could happen, said Gambeau. I think he's very handsome even at his age. Here's one to hear. North Carolina teen accused of poisoning grandmother's collard greens after cell phone dispute. Apparently, a North Carolina teen had been charged with 2 counts of attempted first-degree murder after she allegedly poisoned a pot of her grandmother's collard greens with the 51-year-old woman who was attending Easter services, or while the 51-year-old was attending Easter services. Tiana Lisa Nicole Johnson is accused of pouring insecticide and termiticide into the greens because she was upset that her grandmother, Galen Moody, took away her cell phone. Moody and a friend, Clifton Evans, had to be taken to the hospital after eating the greens. She was on punishment. I had taken away her cell phone from her. She got mad. I took her cell phone from her, and she poisoned my food, Moody told the Fayette Observer. I tell you one thing, it ain't good to feel. According to arrest warrants, Johnson admitted to poisoning the collard green. She also posited Evan for making him ill. Says, I asked about it. She said she didn't mean for me to get sick. Evan said, actually, it was aimed at her grandmother. I didn't really believe this thing could happen. You hear about this stuff on television, but you never think it's going to happen to you. Moody hasn't spoken to her grandmother since the incident. I was like, wow, Moody said. Can you really do something like this over a cell phone? Well, that's the problem is it escalated to that because that kid thinks that, because they took my phone away. Well, if she doesn't have the concept of figuring out is, okay, if her grandmother got her the phone in the first place and she's paying for the kid's phone, if she kills her grandmother because she's mad because she took her phone away, she's going to lose her phone anyway. Because if let's say she didn't get caught, if she doesn't get caught, she's going to lose her phone because her grandmother's paying for the phone. So, and she has the mindset of thinking, okay, if I get rid of her, then I'll get my phone back. I'm like, that's just so stupid. To not have the common sense, it's like the NBA deal. The owner. You can't see the forest through the trees. You don't make any sense. I mean, she doesn't make any sense. To think, to go ahead and kill somebody because you got in trouble and they took away your phone. I have an 8-year-old son. I always joke with him. He'll, like, if you tell him no, okay, no TV, he'll go over and he'll grab the iPad. Nope. Nope. And if he doesn't get the iPad, he'll grab my wife's phone. I'm like, nope. So when he gets in trouble and then he gets mad, he doesn't like, when it gets taken away from him. But, no, it's, I have somebody asking me, what am I doing? I'm typing back. And I type back to them that I'm on the air with my radio show. So, but no, it's it's crazy to think that somebody has that mentality that they think would, if they get rid of grandma, that'll make it all better. Man, I tell you what, I wish I could see my grandparents one more time. You don't realize how much you miss them until they're gone. I ran across I was looking for my daughter, asked me to find her Social Security card, and it was, we always put in a certain place and couldn't find it, and we're looking through all the stuff, and we just had it because she had to get a passport for something, so I'm like going, okay, where's it at? So we're digging through and everything, and I come across an old photo, and it was an old photo of my grandparents together, and I had to pause and look at it a second and make you think about, my grandfather was just a huge Cub fan, and he used to, watch the Cubs, every day throughout the summer, but it's you miss them, you don't realize until they're gone, how much you really miss them, and you got to appreciate what you got right now. Live for today. Don't forget, if you're having an argument with your parents, make up, see them, because before too long it might not be, you never know. Nobody's promised tomorrow. Other stories here. Legend is true. E.T. Atari Games unearthed in New Mexico landfill. Documentary filmmakers on Saturday finally proved the urban legend true. Game makers Atari dumped truckloads of failed E.T. video game cartridges in a landfill in the New Mexico desert. The haul was discovered Saturday near Alamogordo, New Mexico, as part of an effort by the documentarians to find truckloads of copies of the game. So bad, Atari had to dump its inventory in the trash. The game was created shortly after the release of Steven Spielberg's science fiction hit E.T. the Extraterrestrial in 1983. The game is expected to sell millions of copies, but only sold 1.5 million. Since then, the urban legend, on par with Bigfoot and Chupacabra, had popped up, saying, somewhere in the New Mexico desert lies all of those unsold copies of the Atari 2600 game. Saturday filmmakers discovered the legend is true. We found something, one of the workers announced to gather the crowd on the site. We found an intact E.T. the video game. Yeah, I heard about them doing that years ago. I wasn't sure, if that was actually true or not, but apparently it is. So, also another one, West Virginia man arrested for shooting himself and then lying about it to avoid jail time. Okay, West Virginia man who apparently involved in turning a gun on himself in order to avoid jail time saw it backfire. When police responded to Jerry Harlow's Richwood home in December 2013, investigate reports of shooting, they found a 47-year-old with a bullet lodged in his leg. Harlow told them that that an individual driving a white vehicle stopped in front of his residence and shot him. He was taken to the hospital and released. This week, the police investigated Harlow after lab results from the gunshot residue tested were obtained. Probable cause was established to arrest Harlow for being a felon in possession of a firearm and providing false information to West Virginia State Police. According to the release, it is believed that Mr. Harlow shot himself in an attempt to avoid jail time for previously committed criminal activity. Not a bright individual. Let's see here. I got some other stories here, but what I'm going to do is I want to go into thing. This is one I want to do is finish off the show. Is got about 10 minutes, and then I might end up going a little bit over. But I wanted to do is talk about is things that just bake your noodle, piss you off, things that just drive you nuts. And like today, mine was just my computer. You'd sit there and you'd click on. I was clicking on Facebook, and I'm trying to upload a photo on Facebook, and I'm clicking the photo, the photo thing, and it'll 1 minute it open, and then you'd go to click on the photo to upload it, and it would just cycle and not do anything. And then you try to leave the page. It'd ask you want to leave the page, and then it was showing up with like half the information. I was just like so fed up with it, so I finally just shut the computer down, or that window down. Tried restarting it. It was still doing the same thing. I was like going, okay. Before I put my fist through my monitor, I refreshed the screen, finally got it to work, finally got it to upload. And I was trying to do is upload my show marquee so that, it was about an hour and a half before my show was going to start tonight. And I could not get it to go. I couldn't get it to do anything. I was on the ARM Radio Facebook. I was on my Facebook. Finally got it to work. And it was just so frustrating. I mean, computers can be so irritating that make you want to just pull your hair out. Well, I went on and I found a list of, some of these aren't going to, I might not be where, I hate them, but it might be something that you hate. Like, number one on my list, things that make me, it doesn't make me angry, things I hate would be, number one would be sweet potatoes. I hate them. I can't stand them. But I don't care if somebody else wants them. That's fine. I don't like them. But this was a list a guy made. And some of these, I'm going to agree with, some of them not. But I'm going to go down the list here. It says people that things that make me angry. This is the list. Number one, people who don't take no for an answer. I hate it when you get on. You get a guy on the phone, and you're trying to do is either cancel something or do something, and they will not listen to you. And they keep going, and they keep changing the thing to try to get you to stay with them and buy whatever it is they're selling. I'm just like, finally, I've seen people just get mad and hang up on them. Well, a friend of mine used to do, he'd get telemarketers call him, and he'd say, hold on. Oh, great, hold on, let me go get my credit card. And he'd just set the phone down and go back to watching TV. And he'd leave it on. And he wouldn't do anything. He'd just set it down and go back to watching TV and ignore it. And sooner or later, you'd hear it going, dee, so you'd have to hang it up. Then they'd call back. Oh, hold on, I'll be right back. Let me go get that. And he'd put the phone right back over there and set it down. And needless to say, after a while, they got smart and they stopped calling him. So that's maybe one good way of handling a telemarketer. I don't know if you ever heard of Tom Mabe. If you ever heard of him, search him on, YouTube or something. The one with the carpet cleaning, I just about died over. If you ever get a chance to listen to that, that's probably the best way to handle a telemarketer. But normally I just don't answer the phone now. But here is number 2 on this list is Big Bird. Well, I can't, me personally, I watched them when I was a kid. Now, I don't know what it is. I can't stand the Muppets. I can't stand any of them. I don't know. I can handle, you know, a comedian that does, you know, a ventriloquist act. That's fine. But I'm sorry, the Muppets are just, maybe it is they ran their cycle with me. I've just had enough. Another thing that makes me, well, this is this list here. People who hate redheads. Well, my sister's a redhead, so, you know, I mean, I don't hate people that hate redheads because that's one thing I just care less about. But that's, some of these things are going to make, you know, bother me, but some don't. People who think flashlights are used to make face brighter for their own pleasure. Yeah. I love it when somebody sits there and they stand there and they point the flashlight in your face and you ask them to stop and they keep doing it anyway. Here's a good one on this list. Morning wood. I had a Facebook post on my timeline today that was about how to go to the bathroom with morning wood, and it showed all the different positions. You know, the handstand and Superman and the tuck it under the rim, and I just thought that was kind of comical. One of the other things that make me angry, nose pickers. People that pick their nose in public and stand there right in front of you and talk to you and then want to shake your hand. I'm sorry. No. You know, to stand there and pick your nose and then go, hey, how you doing? And want to shake. No, come on. Or the guy that constantly picks his ass or grabs it, you know, pulls his underwear and out of his crack of his ass. We got a guy like that. Oh, it drives me nuts. He does it all the time. And then he, you know, going to shake hands. I usually just give him a dap, you know. I'm like, hey, what's up, you know. Depressing songs that are over 10 minutes long. Oh, well, I just changed the channel. I'm sorry. I can't handle that. Men in makeup. I'm sorry, but I can't stand seeing that. You seen a guy with makeup on? And I mean, it stands like a sore thumb. I mean, you notice it? Squirrels. I you know, this is something that makes me hate with squirrels. I don't have any problem with squirrels, but my dad calls them a rat with a good press agent. You know. Here's one that make him angry. He's children. He doesn't like the kids. That's why he lives in that the senior home, or what do they call it? Sunnyvale retirement home or something. Cats the musical. This is a different list. It's not my list, but it's somebody's list. I'll have to come up with my own. Pancakes. No, I don't make me angry. Pancakes are one of my. I mean, I made waffles tonight. Waffles and peppered bacon. No, that was a good one. Here's one. Teachers who hate teaching. What I hate is, if you ever notice a teacher that when you talk to them, every time you talk to them, they go, and they throw you off because they talk to you while you're talking to them. They talk to you, you know, it's one adult talking to another adult, but they talk to you like they talk to you like they're talking to one of their kids in school. And it drives me nuts to hear somebody come up and they go, every time you say something, and then before too long, you're listening to them say, and you forget what the hell you're talking about. Yeah, it's, I had one lady I went to school with. They lived right across the street from us, and she's a nice lady, but she would talk to you constantly while you're talking. And by the time you get done talking to her, you had no idea what you're talking about because she just gets you so freaked out. You're just like, okay. And then I say something about it to my wife, and my wife would just start laughing because she knows exactly what I'm talking about. But Here's another. This is one that really drives me nuts. I got a 15-year-old son. He will go in, he'll take a shower, and he'll take the last towel, and then he'll have 3 or 4 towels that he'll pull off the rack and put them on the ground because I don't know if he showers with the door open or what, because he practically floods the floor. And I don't know what the hell he's doing in there. And then he'll use the last bit of toilet paper and never fill it. So we always joke that we call him, he's always good for one roll when he gets in there because he just yep, he's a typical 15-year-old, and then he'll last minute, and it go. I don't know how many of you have kids out there, but if you have kids out there and you're doing, they'll come up to you and they'll ask you at like 8:00 at night, and they'll say, "Hey, our printer's out of ink." Really? Yeah, I need ink for my my story right now. I said, "When's it due?" Tomorrow. Yeah, it's like 8:00 at night. Oh, sure. Let me go get some ink out at frickin' Walmart at night. That's open 24 hours because you couldn't ask me at 5:00. You tell me at 8:00 at night. Yeah, it's always when's it due? Tomorrow. Yeah, it's. I think they do it on purpose. Let me wait till the last minute. Okay, he's relaxed. Now let me spring it on him. And then by the time you get out there, I don't know if you've been to Walmart. Walmart, there's certain times of the night you walk in there, and it's like, I think that's that is proof that we're not alone, because there's some alien activity going on out there. You walk into Walmart, go to peopleatwalmart.com and look at some of the videos there, or pictures there, and you see some of the things that just, you go, what the heck? My buddy and I were walking along, and we went out there, and he's from Norway, actually Oslo, Norway. He's Norwegian, and big guy, about 6'4". And he says, "Hey," and he says, I go, "What?" And we're walking behind, we just got done checking out, and we're leaving, and he goes, "What do you think? Guy or girl?" Guy. And from behind, I'm walking behind, big old steel-toe boots, biker boots, jeans, leather jacket, ponytail. Got shoulders look like a bouncer. Turns around, boobs. I was like, oh my God, I would have never bought that, I was like, holy crap. He started laughing at me. But it's just amazing what you go out there. I'm in the middle of Walmart with my kids, and this lady yells out, "Just effing great." Well, she's saying the whole word. A grocery store with no effing groceries. And I'm like going, what do you see around you? What? They don't have your oat trail mix that you're going to eat out of a trough or what? It just, you sit there and you think about what do they expect? There's food everywhere. It just doesn't happen to be what she wants. So, no, it's crazy what you see out there. I seen this guy one night. He's wearing just a shawl and no shirt, just a shawl. And you're like, all right, what's wrong with this guy? Something's going to happen. And Mike Allen knows that Mike's a former police officer, so am I. That radar goes off. You're walking around, you see people, and you go, something's wrong there. They're not quite all there, That stuff sticks out like a sore thumb to us. A lot of people walk by it and don't even see it. We go, that guy's going to cause a problem here shortly. And a lot of times I like to do is now, since I'm not a police officer anymore, I like to try to get out of there before it happens. Let somebody else deal with it. I've I've done enough wrestling around with guys try to take them down because they're doing stupid things. I'd rather not. So, yeah, it's these are things that kind of irritate me at the golf course when people come in. You go into the bathroom and you see a guy standing at the urinal with his golf glove on, go into the bathroom holding a hot dog that he's eating while another guy's in a crapper. I'm like, he's standing there eating a hot dog at the urinal with a golf glove on and eating a hot dog in the bathroom. Make you want to get sick. It's stuff like that. Another thing that drives you nuts is guys come in and they don't realize it. They just get done smoking their cigarette and they walk in and they blow out the last bit of smoke and they think, oh, how you doing? They want to start talking to you and they don't realize they got Zachlys. And if somebody doesn't know what Zachlys is your mouth smells exactly like your ass. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it is. They'll walk in and they'll just be talking to you and just reek the whole place. Or they just been eating onions and they walk in and they come talking to you over the counter. We had, this was actually, it would have been Saturday. Saturday we had, I take it back, Sunday. It was Sunday evening. We had, I'm trying to think, it was Saturday. We had my son and a friend of mine, they went out to play, and I was there in the shop, and I looked out, and this guy's almost parked on the green with the golf cart. And no concept of realizing that you just don't do that. There's the tees and the greens are probably the most sacred, part of the golf course. Those are the ones you want to stay away from. But, yeah, we get people that they just have no clue, and they'll drive right across. The edges of them are on them. But it's getting to be about that time. I'm actually running over a little bit here, ranting and raving, but no, I want to do is go through our show lineup. We I just had a post right there. Let's see. It's coming from one of our talk show hosts, so I'll have to check it out later after I get off. But I'm going to go through our show lineup on Mondays, which today is Monday. We start out with Mike Allen with Morning Brew with Mike Allen, and he's on from 6 a.m. to 7:30. Then we got Tara and Tattoo Rick at noon Central Time, noon to 1:30 with the Afternoon Bites. And then I come on Monday nights from 9 to 11 p.m. Central Time with Straight Talk with Matt Hasley, and we're called The Usual Suspects. On Tuesday, you got Talk Time with Val, the hot talk for the hot topic. She's on from 7 to 9. And then you got the John and Jay show. John and Jay come in right after her from 9 to 11 Central Time. And they're on the East Coast. That'll be 10 to 12. And then you got on Wednesday night, you got On the Air with Mike Allen from 10 p.m. Central Time to midnight. Then Thursday night, you got Talk Time with Val again. Val's back from 7 to 9 Central. And then you got Night Talk with Joe Rocks the Dog and Jackie. They're on from 10 p.m. to midnight. And then I'm on Friday night again for Straight Talk with Matt Hasley from 9 to 11 p.m. Central Time. So once again, tune in with us. We got a lot of good shows that are going back and forth. So if you always want to do is interact with us, you can do us live at 1-866-225-5401, or you can reach us on Facebook at ARM Radio 1. Well, thanks for your support, and we'll see you again next time.